And we are back.
We are back, bumble bitches.
What you doing over there?
I'm looking for a dinner recipe tonight for Mama Cookie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody told me she's in Arcadia.
Oh, really?
Yep. That's the chick that does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody told me she's in Arcadia.
I'm always so impressed by her plate flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she just flips a pan.
I know.
And then takes another and just does that.
And then
with
does
it.
that, right. But it's the actual initial flipping of it, because I feel like you have to catch that first flip for it to look seamless.
No, you just got to get it up in the air. Like, you're right. I guess you do kind of catch it.
Right.
But, that's definitely her little gimmick.
Yeah, but she does a lot of really yummy looking chicken recipes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to find one that I can kind of mess around with to make it more keto, if need be. I'm definitely spiking. Here we are with Peaches ASMR. Because clearly my voice is too much today. The problem is yourself.
It shouldn't be peaking like that. Talk again.
Talking.
There we go.
Speaking.
Way better.
Okay.
We
Ooh,
still peak, but
I wonder why.
we're going to keep that volume all the way up and then turn the volume down here instead.
Okay.
Because that makes way more sense to me.
Are you getting ready to jump into things?
Testing. Blah. Okay, as long as we don't get too loud, it shouldn't peak.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, I'm done.
Okay. So for those of you listening on YouTube or across streaming platforms, we are currently live with our Patreon recording this. And shout out to Kat, who is new to Patreon and is happy to catch this live. I love that you guys are excited to be here. And if that's something that you guys want to check out, see some behind the scenes goofiness and scenes that typically get cut, check out the Patreon.
This is the way. I don't have a whole lot of new update stuff to talk about today. My back is wrecked.
Yeah.
It's not gotten any better. It's been 3 weeks now. I'm starting to walk like Father Time. Can barely stand up straight. It's bad.
Yeah.
D&D was a blast.
I had so much fun.
I have to actually upload that to from Twitch to YouTube on the Life account today when we're done.
Yeah.
I came in and tried to set a third camera angle up so that the cameras were fixed. But was unable to get the camera to work. Even putting one off the light over the TV and down, it was catching too much of the lantern light that we have. So I was like, all right, this isn't going to work. So instead, I just fixed the angles and made sure cameras are straight. And
What if we got like a webcam camera?
we could do that and stick it on the top of the TV.
Yeah.
I have to get a really long USB-C cable though to get it to that computer.
Okay.
I need to get Zach I need to give Zach a list or like what I want for a computer and replace this computer or upgrade it if it can be done. But that's a whole other discussion. So
Okay.
K Dizzle said D&D was so awesome to watch. Jenny went back and watched it and she said she was laughing the whole time. She had a blast watching it. So that stream's got over 1,000 views on it.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Insane to me. Do you have any critiques for me as a player?
Probe.
Okay.
Yep. We get video games teach us to think in a box.
Okay.
Video games are great for problem solving when you're young and you don't understand video games yet. But as you play video games, you learn that you can't just run up the side of the rocks because they're there. You can jump against it.
Or if I get outside the map, I die.
Right. But that's not the case with D&D. You're not set to a parameter of things you can do.
Okay.
Like if I was playing your character in game, I would have.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Before you say anything. Oh, I'm going to do like a little sneak peek, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get into the kingdom to be like, I can try and heal the king.
You're level 1.
Right. No.
Okay.
But because he said, we know of what you're doing and I'm put together like a portfolio of my work. I'm going to try some things. I want to try to get in with the king. Oh. I'm going to use Dockery. Grandma.
You have a whole lot of dice rolls that are going to have to be really, really in your favor because you are level 1.
I'm going to have to really think about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Level 1. This is like your first day in jiu-jitsu class trying to roll with a black belt. And having that, well, when I get mad, I see red, bro.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
I know. Well, it's the same concept, though, because
I'm going to use my charisma,
at
my personality.
right. But at level 1, you guys are normal characters. You're just
Right.
everyday people who are going about your jobs and living your lives.
Yeah. But I've stood out to the king already. He knows of me. I was summoned. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to weasel my way in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then try to like get some information from the king. Maybe some things from the king.
Some things is where I would have went.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys had that full day out there. You had a meeting with the king. You had the high chancellor multiple times that you met with people.
I mean, I did. The high chancellor listened to me.
I would have pushed for items that you are going to need in your adventure. That's not food and gold.
Right.
Bag of holding, uncommon or common magic items, things that would benefit getting to the island, potions of water breathing, things that you can utilize in the event that the ship crashes in the storm, things like that.
Right.
Me as a player, I would have asked for the fucking world and then haggled my way down. I'm gonna need a ring of protection. I'm gonna need a cloak of manta or whatever the fuck it is. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need that. And then be like, but I'll take a bag of holding and like a couple potions if that's all you can spare. Yep. Yeah, it's a whole lot of. It's a king. He's dying. He's desperate.
Is. And his son's an asshole.
Yep. There's definitely could have been haggles that had been made, and especially, well, it should have been made with the high chancellor, not the king himself, but because dude's fucking dying. But we can do D&D talk on another episode if you want.
Okay.
Do maybe like an update or like a recap or something of your sessions. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything new to talk about.
We finished our first week of the new schedule.
Yeah, it was nice having some days off, wasn't it?
It was. I felt weird not doing things. I felt panicky.
Lazy.
No, panicky. Like I was fucking up and I'm about to get reprimanded because I'm not working.
Which is weird because we don't reprimand each other for not working.
Right. No, that's been an instilled thing in me since I was a wee little lass.
It makes me feel lazy when we don't have shit going on.
Yeah.
We went and saw Prometheus.
Oh my gosh. No, it was Romulus.
Romulus. Yeah, you're right.
Whew, that whole movie, there weren't really many jump scares, but that ending made me want to vomit. My skin was crawling. I was almost crying. Like, get that thing fucking away from me. I would go watch that movie again just for the ending of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
I didn't really enjoy the movie that much.
No?
It's a typical bullshit horror movie.
Yeah, you could tell that they were young and making emotional choices, especially with what we do for a living now.
It's really hard to enjoy television. Yep.
What we're doing for a living now, that one dude put that chick back on the ship after all those warnings, and I was like, that's what he was talking about. That's the emotions the robot warned Andy about. And now look what you did.
Yep.
Now look at this.
You know what Danish said? I have a bone to pick. I didn't get to see Ivy in the chair while you were playing.
No.
When we have our map screen pulled up, there's an empty box up there that I was going to put your character's like stats in and like just cycle it through like a video.
Yeah.
But we can do an Ivy cam and just put her bed in there and put a camera on Ivy.
I'm so down for that. I think she would love that.
I don't think she would even notice. She's sleeping right now.
Yeah. No, I see her. Which is crazy. If I stand up, she knows it.
Yeah, she does.
She's wild.
And post it on Instagram when we're done. They did show the premiere for the new Gladiator movie.
Oh my God.
Which I am extremely excited about.
I have very high hopes.
I love that they picked an actor to play the Gladiator that I am unaware of because there's no attachments to a previous character for him. Like when we watched World of Warcraft that had the guy who played Ragnar in it, I was expecting a Ragnar style character, and that's not what we got. But because I had fucking 6 or 7 seasons of Vikings, he's typecast now for me as Ragnar because he played that character for so long. I want that type of acting from him.
Right.
And didn't get it, which was wild. And he's not been in a whole lot since that movie because he's now typecast as a Ragnar type character.
Crazy that that's a thing. And I can see why that's a fear for a lot of actors. I love changing my interests and trying new things, and now we're doing D&D and I'm pretending to be a character, and I did a little bit of a voice last session. And now that I'm getting more comfortable with it, I might really like dive into that voice and quirkiness.
Yeah.
And now I want to do skits. Like if I just had to work as a Dr. Phil-esque coach as a typecast for the rest of my life, I couldn't.
You realize your glasses are still in your head?
I do. I like the look I have right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
I don't want to do the Dr. Phil thing all the time either.
Right.
We didn't record a Friday episode last week. So we're going to need to find something to record this week for Friday content. Also, for you guys in Patreon, I believe Wednesday's the last day to sign up to go to Thailand if you guys would like to go to Thailand with us.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're 2 months away from that.
It's less than that.
Oh wow, I just had a little bit of acid reflux.
Yeah, I think we fly out on the 7th of October. So we're less than 2 months. It's like a month and a half we're out. What you doing over there?
I am adding the children's school to the bypass for phone calls. So I don't have to hear my phone pinging, and our audience doesn't have to listen to my phone pinging. But I don't know how to do that, babe. Can you help me? How do I add a bypass?
You got to go into your do not disturb settings, which is under your focus. We're going to give Peaches a minute, guys, to get this set up. Kinkerbell said, Kinkerbell. That's funny. And totally a great name for a D&D character. I need a non-international retreat. We are working on that. We actually did a phone call with Trova Trip last week. We're looking at Costa Rica, but we started talking about possibly hosting something in Florida and doing like a limited sales spot so we can do like a weekend thing where people can buy tickets for the weekend.
Yeah, do like a little weekend getaway.
Yep. Won't be cheap.
No.
The houses that we were looking at were thousands of dollars a night, and we would have to break it up amongst the people who are there so we're not spending the money on it. But it's definitely something we should look into doing.
Mm-hmm. I concur, doctor.
Did you get that figured out?
I did, yes.
Okay, dope. So what else would you like to talk about before we jump into emails? Keeping in mind that we have to be done in 2 hours every time now from now on. Bring your mic down. There you go. See how mine's lower than my mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
I really want to create content of me like in the garden, planting seeds and shit. But I'm worried about all of the dead space that's going to be in the content.
Well, that's edited. It's easy to do. That's why we hired Carrie.
Yeah.
You have your own microphones. We just have to connect it to your Sony A7S III.
I'm also worried about it not being entertaining.
I mean, people who want to watch it will, and those who don't won't.
Okay.
I mean, you can't please everyone. I'm really on some, I'm going to do what I want to do shit right now.
Yeah. I've also been thinking about doing like watercolor painting content because last night painting in the bathtub was fantastic. I had so much fun.
You really want to turn one of your self-care times into content creation?
No, not a content creation, more of like we can do self-care time together. And I'll watercolor paint and I'll say random shit that's funny. And if you want to put it on in the background while you paint or craft, I maybe do it as a live thing.
You do it when you feel like doing it, not as an obligation.
Right.
And I'll support that.
Everything going forward that I do as a side project will be by
Whenever you feel like it.
whatever I want to, yeah.
Okay. We just revamped our entire schedule to free up time, and I don't want you to start.
No, I'm not going to do it like every single time I watercolor paint. If there's interest in that, if once in a while I decide I want to go live while watercolor painting.
Well, that's easy because that's just your phone.
Yeah.
That's definitely a doable thing. That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, way easier than the garden thing. Doing garden shit would be, I mean, you don't even really need carry for it. You could literally set a tripod up and wear your fucking mic piece and do your thing.
Yeah.
Having carry there to do B-roll while the microphone and camera is set up would be cool because you can set one camera on a tripod, have it running the entire time, and as you're digging your fingers in dirt, she could be right there with the camera. So people can actually see what you're doing, and you just cut it in. It's not hard. It's just a time-consuming edit. And the more she edits, the better. So I know it sucks for her right now because she's slow at it. But as she does it, she'll get like I do. I can edit. I can speed edit. Like it's fast. So.
Oh, and I wanted to announce that I'll be doing in my mind, a 4 to 8 hour live stream on the book breakdown of the 4 agreements.
I'm sorry. What? You want a what?
You don't remember this conversation?
A 4 to 8 hour live stream?
Yeah, a streamathon. We've had like 4 conversations about this, babe.
I'm tired now. And you're just talking about it. That's a long ass live stream.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be breaks and snacks and chit-chatting with Patreon. I mean, I want to record it so it can be broken up into mini episodes to be posted out on YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. We did talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, recording the entire thing in one day and breaking it up in episodes. That we talked about. I don't
Okay.
remember shit about a live stream for 8 hours.
No, for Patreon. So that means you tuned me out after it stopped being pertinent for you.
Yeah, I mean, because it's SU content. I don't have to be
I
there for that.
understand. I'm not offended by that. It's okay.
8 hours stream, that's a long ass stream though.
It is, but it's on my terms and I don't feel pressured in it.
Anything you want to do on your terms, I support it.
Okay.
As long as you're not making schedule shit that you're
Yeah.
going to end up regret doing, like,
Right.
I'm here for it. Do what makes you happy, babe. That's what I'm doing. I'm
Okay.
not doing Voice of the Broken content. I haven't posted a single clip from the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Right.
If people watch it, great. It's out there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't watch it. It's not monetized. I'm not losing anything.
Right.
Fuck it. I'm enjoying doing it when I choose to do it. And that,
That matters.
This matters, and the creative side projects keeps me creative.
Yeah.
So, want to just jump into some emails and
Yeah.
then do questions afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Extreme father-in-law issues help. Issues, difficult father-in-law and unsupportive wife. Oh, man. Just based on that theme, support in my life, in all aspects, is very important to me, especially from my husband.
Yeah.
It's like right off the bat, this is a very serious email for me.
Okay. I was gonna say I do what I can, but the support system matters.
Yes. All right. Hi there. Regular listener here when I can. My fiance and I have been together for 5 years, going on 6. And in my opinion, our relationship is great, the best and healthiest I've ever had. We're the best of friends and we love each other. However, her father seemingly from day one has hated my guts. That may in part be her fault, but I'm not so sure that would have mattered since I don't really attribute much importance to it. But I mention it here so you will have all the context and details you may need to formulate a well-rounded opinion. Okay, I'm going to see if the emailer elaborates. She began the relationship off despite my objections and telling her to be honest with her parents by lying to them about me. And she moved out of her parents' house and moved in with friends to come on the road with me. I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I'm also 38 and she is 29.
Okay, so I have a whole lot of questions already. Why does a 29-year-old woman have to lie to her parents about what the fuck she wants to do with her life?
Right.
What?
I'm moving out.
I'm gonna go do this thing.
Right.
I don't want you to go do that thing. Well, I don't give a fuck because it's my life. I'm an adult.
That
I'm gonna go do that
sucks.
thing. Right.
Yeah.
And obviously you can really have conversations about that with your parents if you feel the need to do so, but
Yeah, that lying to the parents about the relationship. So the emailer said, by lying to them about me. So I'm going to take that as they did not know that she was in a relationship.
right.
So massive red flag, especially in a 29-year-old. What do you mean you can't have a relationship in front of your parents? What What's the problem here? Are you embarrassed of me? Are you ashamed of me? Am I the issue? Are you being abused?
I wonder if they've been together for a while and they were much younger when all that started.
Oh, maybe.
Because I can understand if she was 19,
Yeah.
parents being like, hey, it's probably not such a good idea, right? Let's read on and see, because
Okay.
that would matter. And I can understand your parents at that age being like, hey, I know you're ready to go and hit the ground running and do the adult thing, but just this.
Take a breather.
Yeah, think about this through. And if you still want to do it, I'll support it. But just know that this is going to be a very drastic way of life. You're going to go from living in a house to living in the back of a semi truck.
Right.
And not the cab.
Right.
Right.
My one stipulation when the children become adults and they go into the wild, my one stipulation, because I can't control what they're doing, is if you are in any situation where you are uncomfortable or you feel unsafe, you are calling Pops and I. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you think I'm going to be mad at you or if I'm going to be disappointed. You're calling us to make sure you're safe.
Yep.
That's it. I might not agree with what you're doing right now. I might not personally do it. I might be absolutely unhappy that you're doing this thing, but I can't control you as a 18, 19, 20-year-old.
The way that our kids are going to believe that they can have those conversations is going to be based off of our reactions when they actually have those conversations.
Yeah.
And that's going to have to be one of those things where we are going to have to put our dismay aside, remember what it is to be young, and then be better.
Yeah. All right. Continuing on. She never told them about me. They basically figured it out that things were going on behind their back. And apparently their little girl has never lied to them. So I must be the worst manipulator in the universe since Thanos and the MCU.
Though I appreciate the joke, you're not telling us how old you guys were when this all happened.
Right.
And at 28, 29, like,
well,
this
hang on.
This doesn't make sense.
They've been together for 5 years, going on 6.
So she'd have been 24.
24, 25.
That's 5 years past the time to move out. Like,
how long was it until they figured out you guys were together? Because if you've been in a secret relationship with a girl for 5 years, like at this point, you're expecting the fallout of it. I don't know. As a parent, if one of our children hid a relationship from me for whatever reason, and the person that they were with hid the relationship as well, unless there was, I'm going to physically harm the child, like, why are you guys lying to me? There's a problem here.
that speaks on what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
If you're a teenager and you are afraid to tell your parents something, it's because of the way that your parents have acted when they've told you shit.
Right.
Or when you've told them shit. This is no difference when our kid does something they're not supposed to do and they come in and they tell on themselves.
Yeah.
You don't get punished. You broke your toy's broken. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
But like, we're not going to punish you for coming in and telling us what you did. We may correct the behavior in different manners, but like if we found out about it and you lied, you're in trouble for lying, not for breaking your toy. It's your
Right.
toy. The consequences is your shit's broke now.
Yeah.
You're lying, now you're in fucking trouble because you lied, and we have to differentiate what's going on with all of that. But that learned behavior is people training.
Right.
So when they become older, oh God, don't tell my dad, he'll kill me. Your
No, that makes sense.
dad
right.
taught you that.
What I was commenting on was more of to see it from the parent's point of view. You are somebody who conspired in a lie to keep something hidden from her parents. Like, I would view that as disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree.
Their reaction versus their response matters 100%.
Yeah. Could you imagine being in your 20s and trying to hide a relationship from your parents? You hear how fucking asinine that sounds?
I had a lot of shit in my 20s.
Why?
Fear.
You're grown up.
Repercussions. It was more of a psychological leash than anything. Still is.
It's crazy.
Yeah. There is like a visceral reaction if I focus too long on thinking about that kind of shit.
Was it hiding or that? Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter, but in my brain, not telling somebody because it's none of their business is different than hiding it. Like I'll not tell a whole lot of people a whole lot of shit because it's none of their fucking business. But when it comes down to like hiding and not conveying are two different things.
That was a very hard thing, and it still kind of is for me to differentiate between it's not your business and I'm just choosing not to tell you or whatever or whatever it was. The point I'm trying to say is there was a bleeding of boundaries so much that there was no, like, privacy was, I can't believe you hid things from me. But if I ever brought it to the forefront, it was anger. So I have a hard time still with, like, that's none of your business, because I can't tell what is somebody's business and what isn't, because that was never instilled as a boundary. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think it's important to recognize that you don't owe anyone anything.
Right. So continuing on, since they found out about the relationship, I've basically been treated with a mixture of low tolerance, barely concealed disdain, to outright contempt. I finally reached my breaking point with her father. Her mother, at least in action and emotion as far as I can tell, has basically accepted me and is nice, at least to my face. But if she still hates me, at least she does a great job of hiding it. Her father, on the other hand, at every single face-to-face meeting has blown up at me over something. This last time was over not washing my hands frequently enough, apparently. Her parents hosted Christmas dinner for a large group this year because they just bought a fairly large place near Houston, Texas. All right, so we're painting a picture. It's Christmas dinner. A bunch of people are coming over. They're in a brand new house. They moved. Things are getting settled. I can imagine the high strungness of all of that. Okay.
Hold on. Why go somewhere that you're not wanted?
I was thinking about that too. Why continue to be in a place where clearly there is no pride or being stood up for, just disdain and disapproval?
Right. This speaks on the my family versus our family.
Yeah.
Right. Our family is our home. Mm-hmm. Your family is your family. My family is my family. And we have, there's a difference there. Mm-hmm. And if you want to go have Christmas with your family, go have Christmas with your family. If I'm not welcome there and I know I'm not welcome because of the way that I'm treated, I'm not going.
Right.
And if you choose to go, that's fine. That's your family. We can do Christmas on our own. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to go somewhere I'm not wanted. Like,
right.
This is a choice. And if he's going because he's trying to do the right thing by his woman, who's in the wrong there? Is he in the wrong for not standing up for himself, or is she in the wrong for not standing up for her man?
I would say both.
So how's that supposed to, in your mind, what's the answer to that?
So if I were him, my standing up for myself is, look, this relationship is too much for me. You are not standing up for me when it comes to your parents. We have had multiple conversations about this up to this point because I would have. And I'm not valued here. I am not happy here, and I'm clearly not accepted here. So I'm gonna move on and find my place somewhere else where I'm happy. Thank you for the learning lesson.
You would actually sever over that, huh?
If there was no actions changed, if arguments were created of, oh, well, that's just my dad, you just get used to him, he roughhouses.
Right.
No, your father is very clearly disrespecting me and you're ignoring all of it. That's not wife material.
Okay.
Yeah. And same thing for a man, especially from the mother.
I mean, I can definitely see how it would end that way, or could end that way. I would start by not going.
Yeah.
I would make a decision to be like, look, if we come and you guys are disrespectful to my person, we're going to leave. It's just all there is to that. And if you can't maintain some semblance of respect for the person that I'm choosing to spend the rest of my life with, Christmas is going to look very different next year because we ain't coming.
Right.
I'm not going where they're not welcome. And your actions are showing him that he's not welcome. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Yep.
Well, that would be the desired reaction, but a lot of people have more loyalty to their parents than they do their partner.
Oh, I'm fully aware.
So
that's because we're beaten into our heads that family is more important than a relationship. But the other side of that token is that when you become married, that is your family. A relationship is you dating or courting or fucking someone. Mm-hmm. A marriage is a whole different ballgame. If you're, actually doing the marriage thing.
All right, continuing on. Before dinner, I was told by my fiance that her dad was being a bit picky and wanted everyone to wash their hands before dinner. It was set up on tables and a lot of people were going to eat. At first, I kind of felt targeted, and then the announcement was made to the room, so I felt better about it and then went and washed my hands without a complaint.
I mean, you should have washed your hands before eating anyways.
Right. So, first it was the personal attack. See, I would have been like, oh yeah, no, washing hands makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why would you get mad about that?
Word.
Your finger could have slipped when you were wiping.
Right. Got hand sand in my pocket right now, babe. Don't worry about it. I have to try really hard in moments like that to like not take shit personally.
You want to know what I'd have done in that situation?
What?
Announced in front of everyone, I don't need to wash my hands. My wife's going to make my plate. And then I'd have sat down.
I like that.
And I'd have waited. Win.
I love that for you, babe.
I love that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge flex.
Is it?
Yep.
Why are you giggling?
Dad would have been pissed.
Yeah, he would have.
I'd have been like,
Making eye contact. Have you seen Shrek 2?
yes.
Or Shrek 3? I can't remember which one it is. But it's when they're all sitting at the dinner table and the king is eyeing Shrek and they're just angrily eating dinner.
I've seen all the Shrek movies, but I don't remember them to that.
Oh, we are watching them tonight.
Yeah.
Get ready, children. Shrekathon.
That's funny.
Love those movies. Carrie, we're going to have so many skits to do. You're going to be my default. Husband is on the fence about these things, so. All right, continuing on. Well, I want to add on before I continue on. I understand that there has been the disdain in the air towards the fiance from the parents and all of this. To start to take everything super personally, even them not liking you is not about you. So even them not liking me, like that's a you problem, homie.
Yep.
So them not liking you is definitely a them problem. I'm pushing my bangs the wrong way. I don't know what's happening anymore. And by proxy, a problem of your fiance because she's going to hear about it all the time. But like my husband said, I'm not going to go where I'm not welcome. I don't hear it, don't see it, don't speak it. Not going to be part of my universe.
That also speaks on boundaries with the dad or with his woman.
Mm-hmm.
If the parents are coming to her with negativity all the time about the partner, that's problem number one.
Well, yeah, why are they so comfortable shit talking me to you?
That. Last night when we were watching Animal Kingdom, Smurf and that dude, when they were younger, because that's where we're at in the show, slept in the woods because dude was having a Vietnam flashback. Yeah. And the next morning when they're sitting around the fire, dude walks away and everybody starts talking shit. And when she stepped up, she shut everyone in that fire ring up and then walked away. Mm-hmm. That's the type of loyalty that you need to have in your marriage. When your person leaves the room and everybody else starts talking shit, if you allow that to continue, you're just as guilty as they are. Where's your fucking backbone in that? Where's the loyalty to your person?
Right.
Yeah. Don't tell me why they said it. Tell me why they were comfortable enough saying it in front of you.
Amen. Oop, dropping things. Continuing on. Dinner was over within a few hours and everything had gone well thus far in the evening. I had got up and went to the restroom and I knew I was likely going to get seconds, so I went ahead and washed my hands again.
So you don't wash your hands after you go to the bathroom? Cool. I'm judging right now.
Oh, damn.
I am judging right now. Because sometimes everybody's had that finger or that thumb slip at least once.
Right.
And you're like, hey.
Yeah, I want to
Is that the only time that you wash your hand? Because
you guys are supposed to be putting the lids down when you flush. I didn't even catch that. Oh, ew.
At least rinse. Right? Something.
I have flicked our children in the forehead over not washing their hands and try to chase me around the house.
Yeah.
We're not playing that game. Get your poop away from me. Stop it. Oh gosh. Oh no, I'm hung up on it. You gotta get me off of it. Gotta say something else. Get me
Well,
sidetracked.
get back to the email. That'll sidetrack you enough.
It's not going to because the seconds and the washing of the hands.
Maybe he likes a little extra
Filthy.
chocolate on his food.
Filthy. I can see why the father is adamant about everybody washing their hands. Okay, saying that made me feel a little bit better.
Okay.
I'm gonna move on. That released some of my pent up energy. I sat back down and was distracted for a bit talking to some of my fiance's other family members. It was about 90 minutes and I thought about washing my hands again, but wasn't sure if that would be seen as some form of overdoing it or being petty. But to play it safe, every leftover I got, I made sure I used a serving spoon or tongs to even grab the rolls so that I wasn't touching any food someone else would eat. Bro, if there's a concern there of maybe I should wash my hands, you should wash your hands.
Yeah.
That would have been the move. I live by that. If I think I should do it, I do it. Yeah.
How crazy is it that families are so different? Because my adopted family, we'll eat off each other's forks. Like, there's no shame there. Like, the big serving spoon, somebody's licked that spoon. It won't happen on the first round, but by, like, the time the serving has happened and everybody's eating, somebody's going to get that random bite on. It's going to happen.
I'm never getting seconds again.
You know it. You saw it happen once. You said something about it afterwards. I'm like, that's how our family is. And
no,
you're like, oh, you're
no,
right.
they were putting their seconds back into the main
Okay.
pot. Yeah.
Is that any different?
I could never. You get your own individual bowl with its own lid, and we're going to label it. I have 100% turned into a germaphobe as an
It's
adult.
so funny to me.
But yet I still look at you and go, spit on me.
Well, we went there. We went there. And me being the one upper wants to one up you right now. And I'm not going, I'm gonna just, can you move on, please?
Carrie's, damn, Daniel got me. Okay, continuing on. My fiance asked me in hushed tones as I entered the living room, "Did you wash your hands?" I said no. No. But I went to the bathroom recently and I washed them then. You fucking fibber. An hour and a half ago was not recently. He said 90 minutes. It was about 90 minutes and I thought about washing my hands again.
Well, he hasn't touched his area since then. He's just touching everything else that everyone else is touching. So at that point, where's the germs? You think that people aren't breathing over that food and like breathing and coughing over each other's cups and laughing and little globs of spittle flying out of their mouths?
Oh, I'm
and
sorry. I'm getting like anxious ticking over this. This is
this
really
is why
bothering
you
me.
get sick all the time and I don't.
Oh my goodness.
You need some of that 80s baby's immune system.
Spit on me more, babe. I don't know. How do I get that?
You are so lucky that I'm in so much pain.
Oh gosh. See, this is the toxic in me. I want to poke the bear.
Yeah, I can't do anything right now. I can barely walk, let alone stand up. And fucking take notes. Like, remember the other day when you did this? I can move now.
Yeah.
Get over here.
I don't think unless the food is in front of us at the table and we're pulling from the table as we're eating, I don't see how spittle and people dandruff is going to get all over that.
No? How far do you think the average table is?
What do you mean?
2 feet? 4 feet? 3
What
feet?
are you asking me? Are you asking about the layout of a living room?
Well,
or
I'm asking
something?
how, if you've got a large family,
Right.
assuming that they're at more than one table, sometimes people pull out them little folding plastic
Right.
tables. What do you think the average distance is between the edge of the table and the other edge of the table? 4 feet max?
Oh, I'm picturing like 10 or 15 feet.
Well, from head to head.
Right.
But if you're sitting across from
across
somebody,
from each other, yeah.
okay, now you figure a plate of that is going
Right.
to absorb 1 foot. So that plate is now 3 feet.
Right.
How far do you think people have spittle go when they laugh or sneeze? or cough.
Oh, a sneeze. I know that can go out at like 100 miles an hour and just.
So a good
Right.
laugh.
Right.
That exhale is going to throw spittle.
Right, but this isn't our serving food. This is just my plate.
Right, that you're eating while people across the table are laughing and talking with mouthful and being degenerates. You're eating some of that.
Not me specifically, just people in general.
Everyone.
No, I Kirby inhale.
Whatever you got to tell yourself, hotness. From now on, you'll be eaten by yourself, won't you?
I could tell by that head rub you're getting tired of my shit.
That was an itch. I just think it's important to be realistic.
It is important to be realistic, but I also think an hour and a half is not recently going to the restroom.
Oh, I agree 100% with that.
Okay.
Hour and a half is not recent. Did you ever watch that? They did it was either Mythbusters or some sort of thing where they created a glow in the dark fake snot. And dude was blowing his nose and touching his face while they were playing cards. And at the end, they hit everyone with a UV light and everyone was covered in fake snot. The cards were in fake snot. People's glasses were
Please
covered in
stop
fake
saying
snot.
snot.
We should look into that so that you can see exactly how germs actually
No,
go.
babe, I know how germs work. I know
Please
how
stop
they
saying
spread.
snot. All right.
If I could carry a Lysol can with me, I would.
Keep poking the bear, and I'm gonna keep saying snot.
That's okay. I'll just expand on my teeth collection in D&D.
Are you threatening me? Threatening to knock my teeth out?
No, I'm not threatening to knock your teeth out. They have travel Lysol. They do. Noted. No, I'm not threatening to knock. What?
I know what you meant. I was kidding. It was your teeth collection. You were going to make me have to DM teeth collecting. I know what you meant. I was trying to be funny. I was trying to continue the joke.
Violence is not a joke unless it's sexual. Ground rule for me.
Consensual is the word you were looking
Consensual?
for. Yeah.
Well, for me in our marriage, that's the same thing.
Oh, God.
Is this what you missed, babe?
Hell, so much. But my back hurts so bad.
I'm so sorry. Okay, continue.
I wanted to be funny earlier and stand up and grab you by the ankle and caveman pull you off that chair as a joke. There's no
By my
way.
ankles?
Yeah.
By this ankle?
By your good ankle, yeah.
Yeah. You could like grab up here my calf.
Just grab you by the back of your knee. It'd have the same effect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I want to do a skit of me sitting here, right? And then we get like a fabric dummy version of me dressed in my clothes and I say something mouthy to you and you go, "What, woman?" And then it's a really horrible cutscene and then it's the doll me here and you throw it across the room. And then I'm laying on the ground and go, "Oh no, husband, I'm so sorry." Just to make a joke of all of the things that people say.
Yeah.
No, not funny.
No, because people really actually think that I abuse you.
That's insane to me. That is absolutely insane to me.
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of petty and I'm kind of here for that, but that is kind of a good fuck you to them.
Right.
But yeah. The amount of hate that we would get from the internet about making fun of domestic violence.
No, we're not
battered
making fun of
women.
domestic violence. We're making fun of the people who are wasting their fucking resources on us when there are actually women in domestic violence situations seeking help but can't get it.
Right.
Because you're chronically online and want to put cognitive biases on other people's relationships because you can't have the love that we have. Continuing on.
Kat said, "Hey guys, we're still here. Ha ha ha."
All right, so the hushed tones. Did you wash your hands? No. Her father pipes up and says, "Yeah, but you've pet the dogs and touched things and everything since then. So I'm not going to lie, I wasn't just nice and compliant. I'm really tired of being treated like a doormat by him because of my fiance's feelings." She basically places an either physical or metaphysical hand on my knee and shakes her head no every time something goes down in order to avoid this conflict.
I really wish she'd have given a different example because you should have washed your hands, bro. You touched the dog.
Right, like...
Like, you playing with the dog while you're eating your dinner? Like, we have a dog.
Oh my gosh, that's why I got that thing on me. Like,
No. You go over to your where you're at right now, and we put you there, and we eat our dinner. I'm not. No, nope. They lick their buttholes and they lick themselves, and I don't want to hear the dogs' mouths are cleaner than ours. I don't want to fucking hear that at all. They lick their butthole. And there's a time and place for butthole licking, but it's not Well, I mean, it could be at the dinner table, but not while there's guests there.
or an actual meal happening.
Right. Well,
Or sometimes.
it's technically a meal.
We can both get fed.
Oh, we're getting kicked off the fucking internet. I'm done.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, fuck. I'm done.
You should really do that photo shoot.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, homie, the hand washing was not the example to give. Mm-mm. And if I'm a shitty human being and I'm just hating on you to hate you and now you've really given me something to latch on to, yeah, I'm going to shout that across the room. Because that's actually, I would shame that. All right, continuing on. In this instance, I basically said, okay, after he said what he said with an attitude in my voice, as if to basically say, so fucking what? Or, and? Okay, so I acted that out too well and I upset myself. In my own home? You're going to hit me with that attitude in my own home? See, but the issue for me would be you not seeing the reasoning and why you should have washed your hands after touching a dog and getting food. Like,
before getting food.
Right. And that's all, folks. Like, we're done. Get the fuck out of my house.
Do you think that that's her being controlling or her just trying to set a standard of the way that her dad chooses to do things at dinner time?
The washing of the hands?
Yeah.
I don't know, because she did try to rationalize it by saying, hey, my dad's kind of being like overreacting right now and wants everybody to wash their hands before dinner, just so you know, like, be on top of it. He's being extra today. Is that to cover up the father because he's being like over forceful because he's overstimulated with the massive dinner happening? Or she's worried about the boyfriend's reaction?
I mean, both of those are valid. What if dude's a germaphobe?
Yeah.
Maybe he's seen that Mythbusters episode with the snot. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
It could be a multitude of things. But if that's who he is as a person, she shouldn't have to apologize for that.
Right.
The first time you go over there, just be like, look, my dad's a fucking germaphobe. He's worked in an office his entire life. He uses hand sanitizer 8 times a day. Like, just know that he's going to expect you to, like, maintain some sort of cleanliness. Mm-hmm. I'll eat a sandwich with grease on my hands. I don't give a fuck. Like, there's variances in what you think is clean and what is not clean. So if dude is a germaphobe and everything has to be spick and span, like, that's his house. You're a guest in his home. The least you can do is try to honor his wishes in the house. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to create conflict over washing your hands?
Right, and you're wrong in this situation. Like, I would view that as you're wrong in this situation, especially after touching an animal.
Yeah.
Should have washed your hands, dude. Been like, damn, you're right. Sorry. The father yelling across the room was unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
There's definitely heightened emotions here and a lot of tension. Emotionally immature, both parties.
Would you ever eat it at an all-you-can-eat buffet? Have you ever eaten at an all-you-can-eat buffet?
Yes, but it's very hard for me.
Okay.
Very hard for me to get through mentally. I have to actively think about not eating as I'm eating.
I give 0 fucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I've also, like, I've heard a story about a person walking in the Walmart and they watched this person the dude blew his nose like into his hand, flicked the snot onto the sidewalk, and then grab a shopping cart. And just kept going.
And that's the Mythbusters thing.
And yeah, I got that thing on me everywhere. It's hand sanitizer all the time. I put that shit on my Louis bag sometimes. Yeah. Like if they don't have wipes to wipe down the seat, I'll put my bag down and then I'll wipe it in my hands and I'll like gently wipe my bag. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Because I don't do any of that shit. At all.
People have cooties.
Yes, they do. It's also why I have a strong ass immune system and rarely get sick.
Yeah. I've always had a poor immune system though. I used to eat dirt.
Then
and
your
I've
immune
always gotten
system
sick.
shouldn't be weak.
I'm anemic.
Yeah. But what does you
I got a
eating
lot
dirt
going
and you
on.
having low iron have to do with anything?
Well, I don't know.
So what you're saying is you should be eating iron. Go chew on a horseshoe.
I do crave minerals the way goats crave salt.
That's funny.
Okay, continuing on. He shouted okay with attitude, basically saying so fucking what or and. Father got up, stormed out of the room, and slammed his bedroom door, and my fiance's mom followed him in, and I hear him scream, "This is my motherfucking house," and essentially processing. Do you mean proceeding? And essentially proceeding to talk a bunch of shit about me. I just finished my food.
Wait, that happened from another room?
Yes. So the father shouted that from his bedroom. Like he's so upset.
That's cowardly.
Yeah.
I'm going to yell at you from the other room.
No. The mom followed.
So then the mom was trying to get him to
calm
behave.
down. And he just had an outburst.
Right. Okay. It's still emotional, deregulated emotionally.
Yeah.
However, I also understand that frustration. Mm-hmm. You allow people into your home as guests. This follows into you're a guest here.
And this is supposed to be Christmas and we're showing off our new home.
Basic manners, dude. Basic manners. You're a host. You're hosting. You need to have manners as well. But there should be basic manners there. Mm-hmm. I got to be honest. He's in the wrong for not washing his hands.
I agree.
This is not a big fucking deal.
Right.
You know, if I'm in somebody else's house, I try really hard not to swear. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I know that it offends people. I know that not everybody has the free-flowing F-bombs that I have. And I understand that that's a me problem. So when I go to my mom's, I try not to even say shit in front of my mom. Like, it's a respect thing. I am a guest in their home. And if I would like to continue coming into their home, I have to respect that I am in their home. You don't have to be here. Here's a scenario. Mm-hmm. Here's a scenario. If this dude has the germ issue that he has, and I am allowing him into my home because he is with my daughter and I am trying to be accepting, and in return, I'm getting shit on, and I feel his behavior is intentionally disrespectful, I am going to react that way. Although I wouldn't have yelled it from another room, I'd have gotten his fucking face. Because this is my house. Right. This is my castle. This is where I have the only peace that I get in the fucking world is in my home. You are a guest here. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to respect the rules that I have set in my castle, then you can exit.
Get out.
Right. I'll drop the fucking draw gate. You can cross the moat and fucking hang out in the yard. Mm-hmm. Sing Christmas carols to the neighbors. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to do it somewhere else.
So I just had this vision, right? And if this doesn't make sense, you need to tell me. So you are the king of our castle. And I'm the queen of our castle. And our castle, I view, is my domain to maintain and make homey. And I'm making new plans. I want to start going thrifting and slowly redecorate things in the house. I'm not even going to fix it.
So now we have decorating, fluctuated. There was something to do with a potato at one point.
Oh, I don't remember.
We have to add to the Star Wars list of scrolling things.
I sound like a child.
It's fun.
Is it?
It's fun. The fluctuated thing just recently stopped, but I had to bring it back up so that I'm sure it'll continue.
Do you think it's cute or something? Like,
it's fun.
You're not making fun of me?
No, I don't give a shit, baby. You can talk if you wanted to talk like Quipkey from fucking The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
It's fun to me. I know that's not how you talk, and
right.
we missay things all the time.
Okay.
Who the fuck am I to say something about that? It's cute to me.
Okay.
Don't do it.
I'm trying not to.
Don't do it. I can
I'm
see
not
that you're
going
getting
to.
upset. I'm not making fun of you, woman.
I know. I just had to ask for the validation and reality.
Nope.
Okay, so it's my job to maintain the home, and I don't know, I feel like a crypt keeper. Like if you fuck up the force field in my home, you're gonna deal with me before you have to deal with the big man. Like I'm gonna try to be the peace here, homie. And I'm gonna tell you in the nice way, get out.
What if the mom was trying to do that, but doing it to her husband instead to keep the peace?
What, going to the husband?
Mm-hmm. Saying, hey, you've overreacted. You need to relax.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, that's definitely a way to do that, yeah.
Because that would be it, like you said.
Well, I wasn't talking on this scenario, but...
Right. Oh, well, okay. But going from your... you said that you're the crypt keeper. It's your job to keep the peace in the house. And if that's how she viewed her job and she decided to go to the husband over it because... I mean, let's be honest. If I'm getting mad, the only person in my life that's going to be able to control me in any way, shape, or form is going to be you, because I love you and I don't want the Hulk to be. I would rather you deal with Bruce Banner, right? Like,
right.
Other people could deal with the Hulk. Fuck them. So in that scenario, there is a reality in that a man's woman is going to be the most control is going to come in that scenario. If she went to the daughter's boyfriend and tried to like navigate those waters, it probably wouldn't work. She would have had to go to the daughter. The daughter would have to go to the boyfriend while she went to the husband. Like, this is too many people involved. This is why mutual combat needs to be a thing. Now I can understand if dude's 70 and young man is in his 30s. Yeah, obviously we ain't having mutual combat at that point.
Right.
But like, manners need to be a thing. I guess really that's just what it comes down to. But so I'm sorry, because what I was getting at is in the scenario that you laid out, would you go to the other people, or would you actually try to calm me down?
I would send everybody outside.
Yeah, like everyone
Get out of the house.
Okay,
Go outside. Go to the yard. Oh, that's right. It's Christmas.
Right. I mean, they may not be in Florida, but even if it's cold outside, fuck them. It's cold, right? You got jackets.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers came here. You can go. You can leave too.
Right. Well, I would also imagine that with a bunch of people coming over, there's going to be a bunch of children.
Yeah.
I would have a fire going on outside. So I'm creating a little world right now.
Fuck it.
This is I'm making shit up. But I would, if I know that we are going to have a massive group over for Christmas, I'm going to have outside activities because I don't want the house crowded.
Yeah.
So everybody go outside. You two stay. Once everyone's out of the house, you guys need to get your shit together. I'm going to go calm your father down. Whatever needs to happen here needs to happen, but y'all need to wait outside. And when I talk to your father, I'll bring you two back in. And if they can't be resolved, we have 30 other people waiting here. You two are going to have to leave.
Okay.
And then I would go talk to you. I'm not going to try to get the reins control in a situation with 30 people aimlessly wandering our house feeling awkward.
I actually respect the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Because you're not looking out for just me in that scenario. You're protecting the sanctity of the home. If you guys can't respect the rules that we've laid out, you can't be here.
Right.
Yeah, that's more than fair. That's more than fair. Yeah.
I just want to tack on him screaming, "This is my motherfucking house," even though he screamed it. That's not shit talking. That's a fact.
I don't think he should have yelled at his woman.
I agree. I don't think he yelled at her. I think he just yelled and she was in the vicinity.
Yeah, he was intentionally loud so dude could hear it.
Oh,
that's what that was.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I think of just dysregulated emotions, and
I
have poor volume control when I'm emotional sometimes.
This is that person that gets loud when there's somebody in between them and then backs the fuck down when there's nobody there.
Gotcha.
Right? That's how I view that. If you're in the other room screaming, like, you really ain't really about that life. Like, you're getting loud because there's a safety of doors and shit between the two of you.
Right.
It's the Facebook meme of the dogs barking between the gates. And the gate opens and they're sniffing each other's ass, and the gate closes and they're barking again. Like, that's how I view that.
Continuing on.
Yeah.
I just finished my food, threw away my garbage, and went to bed. We basically didn't speak for the rest of the time I was there. They were both working, and I left on the truck on Wednesday after Christmas, and my fiance continued her visit until Friday morning. My fiance...
Oh, they're not married.
No.
Okay. That's important.
I've been saying fiance this whole time.
I know, but I didn't hear it until just now.
Okay.
This whole time I've thought they were married.
No.
That adds a whole other bunch of questions. Have you been engaged for 2 years now?
Yeah. I don't believe in fiance. I still view it as boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you engaged, wedding date set for 6 weeks, you're starting to make plans. That little time frame, I'm okay with you using that term.
Yeah.
If you're engaged with to be announced, you're his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why didn't they get a hotel room?
That's a good question.
You know that if we ever went and stayed with family, and the proof of this is every time we've gone to visit my family, we're staying in an Airbnb. I'm not fucking staying in somebody else's house. If I want to walk around in my underwear, I'm gonna fucking do that. We're renting a hotel room, something.
Yeah.
So to go sleep in that dude's house, now that adds a whole nother level of guest in his home because you're not just there for dinner, you're staying there. Like that adds a whole other level to this.
And I don't want to provide shelter to someone who's disrespectful to me. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It sounds like they really don't like each other, which is obviously what he started the email with. But I have a whole lot of other questions now that need to be answered. Because if they've been engaged for 2 years and there's no actual date set to be married, like what are you doing?
Right.
Like I can see why maybe she's not being the woman for you, right? Like, well, we're engaged and we don't know when we're going to actually get married, so it's not real. I have a ring on my finger, but there's only one of them. There should be two. Like, I don't know. I guess that's a me problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Continuing on.
Yes.
My fiance has been diagnosed with severe anxiety and PTSD for a long time, and when it comes to her parents, especially her father, she cannot deal with them. So I basically told her that this is the last holiday I will be spending with them because I am really tired of being the nice guy and not saying shit when her father acts like a toddler who can't control his emotions.
Hold on. Do you think that her PTSD and anxiety stems from her parents?
I do not have enough information to formulate a thought on that.
Well, if she has a hard time dealing with them, even if it doesn't stem from them, they are triggers for her.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine if it was trying to communicate emotions, there was a negative reaction to that.
Right. Why would you intentionally go there then?
Obligation.
I'm avoiding anything that I know is going to trigger depression or unhappiness or anything in my fucking life.
Yeah.
So like in that scenario, if I know that going there is going to create massive problems for my mental health,
Not doing it.
until I know that my triggers are like worked on enough that I can self-regulate. I know when I need to walk away. I know when I can and can't say something. Exit strategy. I'm driving my own car, whatever the case may be. And I'm regulated. I'm not going to put myself in that environment because I know that I'm not healed enough to deal with that shit yet.
Right.
And if the parents are the reason for that, that's a whole other fucking problem. As for the boyfriend thing, he should have stuck up for himself. If he feels like he's being disrespected and nobody else is standing up for you, stand up for your fucking self. And if you're not welcome there anymore, don't fucking go. But you're not married to this chick. She's your fiance. And if there's not a date set and like, what are you doing? Don't expect a wife behavior from someone who's not your fucking wife.
Yeah, and this is not wife.
Right. That wife material should be seen up front. And if that's the case and you put a ring on it and didn't actually marry it, you're stalling. Right? Like, I don't know.
I agree. Continuing on.
Yeah.
If she intends for us to, then I expect an apology and for us to discuss things without it turning into a fist fight. And then there's an update.
Okay.
My fiance has extreme anxiety and PTSD, and her father is a relatively overbearing guy if you disagree with him or get him going by angering him. She basically doesn't want to bring it up until or unless she has to.
Well, that's trained.
It is trained. He has significant health issues, and so does her mother. Her mother and her are the ones who will suffer if she cuts him off because effectively her dad does all of the driving because her mother has blood clot issues in her legs that prevent her from making long trips in the driver's seat where she can't move around. So if we put our foot down, her fear is that now she will be alienated unintentionally from her mother when her mother, for the most part, has warmed up to me. So that sounds like an excuse. You can go out of your way to pick up your mother.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's exactly what that is.
Yeah. All right, continuing on. Other significant things have changed in my life as well. My own father, who was the picture of health, died at the end of January, about a month after they visited for Christmas. My mother is undergoing cancer treatment. I've told my fiance that I will not be attending holidays with her family anymore until we have discussion over the way I've been treated, been blown up on, etc., especially the most recent time. She's upset by this, but doesn't want to miss holidays with her mother, so she said that at some point we'll have a conversation. But that if it goes south, she'll be visiting for her mother's sake, and I guess I'll just be doing holidays alone until her father is no longer with us.
So she's choosing them over you. That doesn't sound like a wife to me.
I agree. That's the end of it.
I understand that people want to spend holidays with their people, but you have a choice to make. Like, you go up for a couple of days before Christmas and spend some time and see them, and then come home for Christmas, so that the actual holiday is not spent alone. Right? There's a whole lot of things that go into that, and ultimately that's your decision to make, or their decision to make, or whatever. I would also like to point out that he said that they're afraid of pissing the dad off because then the dad won't drive the mom around.
Right.
That's a problem in itself. Do you really? I mean, I guess I'm not even going to speak on that. I'm just going to say that that's a problem.
That sounds like abuse.
It does, but that's his version of the story.
Right.
What if the mom is actually a wife that says, "Well, babe, if you don't want to go, I'm gonna stand by you," versus them. Mm-hmm. We ain't going. What if that's the case?
Yeah.
And that's just the way that other people perceive the situation, versus that actually being the case. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fourth party, because it's not the daughter saying this to him. This is his perception from conversations from the daughter
that have been had.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point. I don't really have anything else on that. I think that was a really poor example to use for Christmas about not washing your hands.
Yeah.
Because I side with the father. That's a problem. And I viewed your attitude reaction very disrespectful. Father should not have shouted that across the house. That was also wrong.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of boy shit going on in this.
But it boils down to, I would not be in a situation that I don't feel like I'm welcome in. And I expect much more out of a spouse than, well, that's just my dad.
Right. I agree with all of that. I also think there should be a level of manners had. This speaks on the art of the gentleman.
The civil.
You know, that shit needs to be taught. Parents need to be so much more involved with their kids.
I take so much pride in how our children are being developed, or how they are developing. It's like watching a photo come to life in a black room or a dark room. I feel like I'm doing a really good job as a mom when I hear your kids speak so well, or they're so smart, or I can't believe a 4-year-old was just able to communicate that.
Right.
It feels good. Next email.
Sure.
This one is titled Cheating and Moving On. Hello. My ex keeps sending me your videos about moving on from cheating and how the partner being cheated on has to let it go. I would really like some deeper context.
This is why. Hold on. Hold on.
This sounds like someone trying to use our videos
to manipulate. Yeah, and this is why you don't watch a 3-minute clip or a 2-minute clip and be like,
right,
love those guys.
No.
Or hate those guys. I fuck with this. I don't fuck with this. Maybe I should watch the whole thing and see if it's taken out of context or just not engage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a serial cheater and you're like, baby, come on, forgive me, I won't do it this time. Listen to this podcast, people. The best indicator for future actions is recent past behavior. And if your recent past behavior is cheating 3 times in the last 6 months, you don't deserve to be gotten back together with.
Yeah, there needs to be a changed behavior.
Right. You're not going to get forgiven just because you made a mistake. See, and that's where that frustration comes in for me, because I recognize that people really are on like a lower level of processing of things.
6-second mindsets.
6-second mindsets.
That's why anything over a minute and a half on TikTok doesn't do well. And TikTok has got a new thing where they're like, I can upload our entire podcast to TikTok now?
I did not.
The entire thing, audio format. So I can post the clip and then upload the entire audio to it so that if people want to listen to our podcast, they can listen on TikTok.
Wow.
I'm not fucking doing that. When they rolled out the 30-minute thing so that we can upload 30-minute clips, I tested one 10-minute clip. It's done maybe 8,000 views the entire time it's been on the channel, and it's been months. So I know that that's not a thing. And every time TikTok tries to roll out something new, TikTok's platform it's just a slightly bigger Vine. People don't want long form content on that. If they do, they're going to YouTube.
Right.
So that whole thing, like if you guys want the content and you want to be able to understand what the fuck we're talking about, you need to watch the podcast.
Yeah. All right, continuing on. My ex has cheated on me multiple times, not physically, but emotionally. We were both not innocent in our actions that led up to the first cheating. I withdrew from the relationship because of a very hurtful lie. It was stupid, and I overreacted.
Whoa, wait a minute, though. You both fucked up. You said that.
Right.
So what did you do to him?
Okay, if the lie was, hey, babe, I'm going to wear my defund politician shirts today. I was like, okay, babe. And then you show up at the studio and you're wearing Pujitsu. What the fuck, babe? Why did you lie to me about that?
Right.
I can't believe that you would do that. Now I'm questioning everything in our relationship. I can see where the ownership is in that. But if he was like, hey, babe, I'm getting off at 5:30. I should be home by 6. And then shows up at 9:45.
Right.
I was stuck in traffic. Right.
Right. I heard that when you read that she has also fucked up.
Right.
Because she said that she has also done dirty, and they both were doing dirty shit in the beginning.
Well, she said we were both not innocent in our actions that led up to the first cheating.
Right.
I withdrew from the relationship because of a very hurtful lie. That's what she means. She was not innocent in it.
So her sin in this is that she withdrew because he lied to her.
Right.
Okay.
But also downplay it by saying it was stupid and I overreacted. But we don't know what the lie was.
Yeah, okay. See, that makes a little that changes my entire thought process.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Continuing on.
Yes.
In turn, he cheated by meeting a coworker he fell in love with very quickly. He lied and breadcrumbed me, and I still feel like I never got the full story. He told me at first it wasn't true, and I was crazy and making things up in my head, and as I would find things, he would slowly admit to it. We decided as a couple we were going to both take responsibility for our part and move on. I'm going to ask you once, homie, like, the way that all of that was phrased and laid out, I'm going to ask you one time, are you cheating on me? No. And now I have to sit here and coax it out of you. Well, okay, you admitted to that one. And then another breadcrumb falls, and now we're going to have another argument about this for 45 minutes until you finally admit to it? No. We're not both taking accountability in this. What the fuck are you doing right now? I can tell you're staring at my hands because I'm just sitting here processing, and it's making me feel like I'm rendering really slowly.
Well, I don't want to say something and then you'd be like, I wasn't done.
Okay.
So I'm really fucking trying not to interrupt you.
Okay.
And I know sometimes I get excited and I can't help it.
I appreciate that.
I'm working on it.
Okay. It sounds like, so we looked up the definition of gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
And what she just laid out sounded like gaslighting. She's finding evidence. You're just making shit up, babe. Right. It's all in your head. What are you talking about? You get to use that tool once. And if I get the inkling that you're trying to manipulate me in that way ever again, we're done. And he kept doing it over and over and over and over. I'm not speaking to you specifically. I'm just speaking to some made up scenario.
I get it.
The shit that people pull and can get away with because there was somebody who is damaged and has never been treated right. So they don't know the extent of what is good and what isn't. Blows my mind.
Are you done?
I'm done.
This is an ex.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is an ex.
Not everybody's meant to be together.
Yep. I would leave this one as an ex.
Why are you sending me videos, bro? We're done.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't work out. We gave it our run. You fucked that up.
Yeah, he's just trying to further manipulate you by using our videos.
Right. Tell him to beat feet. Find a gentleman. Go about your life.
I hope he comes across this video. Listen to this one, buddy boy. You fucked up. Maybe watch our long form content on YouTube and take some accountability.
Yeah. This is why we don't have private messages from people.
Right.
This is why we're not fucking engaging with people of the opposite sex on a regular basis. Like, we play D&D with a group that has two of our actual best friends and a couple who we've been asked to ordain their marriage. I am the DM. I should be able to message every woman in that group because we are playing a game. Out of respect for our relationship and their relationships, Zach has created a new Discord where you have admin capabilities so that you can see what's going on in the event that you want to, so that if I need to send something secretly to somebody for the game, it's there. This is a transparency thing. And people are going to be like, well, that's excessive. Is it? Is it excessive? Because my wife doesn't have to worry about anything that's going on. Your peace of mind, is that excessive? Because
I don't think so.
You have a good peace of mind. When I came out this morning, it's like, babe, here's what Zach did for us. You're like, oh, I fucking love that. Yeah, I love it too. And what'd you say to me?
I said thank you for just the sanctity of our marriage and taking it so seriously.
Right.
I appreciate the effort that you put into it, even though you don't have to.
Right. If you want to make sure that your partner is not having insecurity, fears, and doubts, don't give them reasons to have insecurities, fears, and doubts. This is really fucking simple. You see those videos where dude's got a plate of food and she goes to like reach for something and he grabs the food and she was going for the phone and they're like, oh, you see where his priorities are.
Yeah.
It's a difference. If you were to reach for my phone, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Right.
I mean, you need to like Google something. Like, I don't understand what's happening right now. I'm not going to be like, no.
Right.
How dare you? I might grab my burrito. If it's a brownie, I might smack your hand from trying to eat my brownie.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that there's a reason for any of this. I got to be honest, regardless of what the rest of this email says, and we can absolutely get through it. You started this email with my ex.
Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to read the rest of this email. It's not a long email, but it's more just explaining of the foul things that he did to her and unchanged behavior. So the question is it wrong to expect that as long as I'm calm explaining myself that he would try to help me feel comfortable?
Make you feel comfortable how? If you're calm and you're like, hey, I'm feeling a little insecure right now, can I look at your phone?
Right.
I know you've cheated on me in the past. I need some security right now. And I'm like, here you go.
Right.
We're calm. Password, you got that already. Like,
yeah, validation.
Right. That's
safety.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you're asking for calm reassurances and he's getting angry and calling you names and like puffing his chest out, that's not okay. So like, what are you asking? Because that question doesn't give me a whole lot to go on.
Well, we skipped a lot of shit.
Right. Because she's just shaming him. And, he's manipulating. Like she's painting a picture of who he is. Yeah,
I don't think that's shaming. She's just talking about the past events.
Right. But if that's the case, why would you want to be with somebody like that? If you view him that way, and that's how you're painting the picture, that's your cognitive bias.
Right.
Why are you trying to save that relationship?
Her last question is it time to walk away? And for me personally, I would have walked away. In my opinion, he's using our videos to try and further manipulate you. And people who take advantage of people and their charity, whether that be emotional or spiritual, financially, whatever it is, they want to latch on to you because they know they can get it from you if they push the right buttons. He's pushing your buttons right now. So this is your opportunity for growth where you're like, yes, you're sending me these videos and I agree with the information that they're giving, but you're not the guy on the receiving end of that. Where are your actions in all of that? Thanks for introducing me to the To Be Better podcast. I'm on my own growth journey now. I will talk to you never again.
Right. That's that's a lot. He needs to watch the full content because we're not telling people to get over being cheated on.
Right.
We're telling people to work through what happened and figure out why it happened and grow from it.
And people take ownership for their actions.
Right. On both sides.
Yes. As to why they failed in regards to seeking attention outside of the relationship. And I have been cheated on in the past. And now I have sat back and reflected on, okay, how did I push that person to that option? And people are going to say, oh, well, you can't push somebody into cheating. Well, no, you can't. But psychology is a very strong thing, and mental vindictiveness is a beast. And if you hold a pew-pew to someone's head and say, do this or die, they're going to do whatever they're telling them to do. And if someone feels trapped in a corner and they have no other way out, I can sit here and be miserable, or I can go and get some reprieve in a text message conversation with someone I think is cute.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose not to die. And it's not excusing their behavior. That doesn't make it okay. It's a perspective shift to understand someone's mental state when they make a decision that way, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's explaining their behavior, not excusing it.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. I think that people are going through the cheating situation needs to read Not Just Friends by Shirley Glass.
I agree.
Such a good book.
Do you want to do one more because that was short?
Yeah, we got 30 minutes. So find one that we can do in 30 minutes or less, if you don't mind.
So this one says Patreon.
Patreon.
Morning, guys. I definitely appreciate y'all's perspective on relationships and communications. It has really opened my eyes on the toxicity I was bringing to my relationship. I would really like y'all's advice on a predicament I've gotten myself into. I was a very insecure man in my relationship and very toxic to my now ex-fiance. You've really given me a lot of confidence and different perspectives to change my toxic behavior. My problem is I pushed my person away to the point that we are now separating. What's weird is during the whole move-out process, still living together for a month while being separated, we've become a lot closer and more open with each other. It feels like we're dating again. I don't want this relationship to end, nor do I want to lose her. I accept my mistakes and character flaws, and I'm now working through them. I don't know if she would still want to be with me after all of this, and the choice is hers. I accept I have no control over this, but I do have control over how I handle myself. Because we've become so close over the past month, I do keep trying to change for her and myself, or should I step back and leave her alone? We do have a child together, and we were engaged for 4 years. We were just stuck in an emotional standstill. I would still like to marry her and build a better life with her. I believe there is still hope for us, and I am really doing what I can to change my flaws and be the man that I know I can be for her.
All right, pause, because I've been trying to just get through this, but
Okay, well, there's like 3 sentences left.
okay.
I really don't know what my question would be, but is it possible for 2 people to hit rock bottom and still be able to start over in a sense? I still feel the love and spark between us. Thank you for taking the time to read my email, and I'm eager for a response from you guys.
First and foremost, if you wanted to marry her, it wouldn't have taken you 4 years. You would have done it by now. That's number one. So being engaged for 4 years, you didn't want to get married. You wanted a placeholder. If you wanted to get married during that 4-year phase, it would have happened. You could have gone to the courthouse and just gotten your document done, and then saved up for a wedding if that's what you needed to do. But if you really want that marriage, you could have made that happen. If she really wanted that marriage, she could have made that happen. So that's number one. The other thing that I want to touch on in all of this is you should have been doing the work while you were together and in love. It says a lot that you were able to talk more freely about your relationship and about your feelings and emotions when you're not together than when you were.
It's because there's not that emotional ownership.
Right. It tells me that you guys were never really a team. It tells me that maybe you've got unhealed trauma or she has unhealed trauma that has not been able to be worked through, that you were afraid to have the conversations in life to make sure your relationship is taken care of. And if you can't have those conversations and there's a frailty or an insecurity in the communication of your relationship, you don't need to be in relationships.
Yeah. As a woman, it would be very hard for me to get back into a relationship with a man who sat on an engagement for 4 years.
Yeah.
That would be a very hard hurdle for me to get over, yeah.
I think it's important for people to remember that you can have a new relationship with the same person that you're with.
You can.
It just takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Why are you doing the work now after you lost her?
Right.
Because in 4 years, you had to have seen signs that this was coming. I guarantee you there was conversations about what you were doing wrong. You maybe didn't want to hear that shit or took it as an attack or saw it as her nagging. But if she had legitimate grievances and you were too, I almost called you cowardly. I don't think that's the term I'm looking for. You are too set in your ways.
Comfortable
To take that criticism and realize that you're not perfect and you've got room to grow. Why are you doing that now that y'all aren't together? Because now she's gone. Now you realize you can lose the woman. You should have been working the entire time to keep her. Just because you're engaged or married doesn't mean somebody's going to stay.
Right.
Your actions are going to keep them there.
Too little, too late is a very real thing.
Yeah.
And I can't say whether that is this in this instance or not. I don't know this woman. I don't know your guys' relationship. Yeah, I don't very much have anything to say on this.
You know why we work out so well?
Why is that?
Because when we have disruptions, even if I get defensive, I will tell you I will work on it. And I do. And in the event that I slip or something happens, I get a gentle reminder. And then I continue working on it. It's never a you problem. If you're telling me that something that I'm doing is affecting you, I have to take that as my actions are not okay. Even if I disagree with those actions or with your point, I still have to take in mind that you are feeling what you're feeling. And even if so let's take a scenario where somebody might say something to somebody and the argument will be, well, that's not what I meant. Because we get emails all the time. We hear that shit constantly. We have had those conversations where you have said something and I've heard something different, or I have said something and like we had to have a clarification a little bit ago on the podcast, just this morning, just this episode. Sometimes that's necessary.
Right.
But if without that clarification or without, if it's just defensiveness and I'm right, you're wrong, two things can be true at once. My delivery and your reception may not mesh. We may have missed that pass. And if there's not a completion there, then it doesn't fucking matter what you say or what I say because we missed each other's fucking point. And if I'm the one who always feels I'm right when you come to me with a problem and you're just being emotional and that's a you problem, how about my actions are making her feel this way, regardless if I intended to or not, she does feel this way. So instead of going, well, that's a you problem, I didn't mean it that way. How about saying, damn, I don't want to see her upset. So maybe the next time I deliver something, I need to work on my tone or my body language, or maybe I need to really process my thought patterns and be very specific about what I need instead of just throwing shade because I'm fucking angry and hurt right now. You see what I'm saying? So like you can do all this work now that you've lost her, but you weren't willing to do that shit when she was with you. This is the work that needs to be done between relationships so you're not bringing previous baggage into new shit. So if you believe that you're capable of doing that now, maybe you have that conversation with her like, yo, I realize that like my fucking actions were not up to par. And the things that I've been doing were affecting you in a way that I don't want to make you feel. And I'm working on that now. And if you're willing to forgive the past transgressions, then we can maybe start trying to date each other again and see if this is something we want to try to work and actually get married. Maybe we should do that. But if you can't get over these past transgressions, I'm not going to try to manipulate you into staying by faking it. We know somebody in our lives recently who was going through something similar to this. And it bred so much resentment in the woman because he was capable of doing all the things that she wanted the entire time, but chose not to until after she said she was leaving. So now you're going to put in the extra effort and try to make it look like you're the fucking knight in shining armor and can be that motherfucker, but you couldn't for the last however many years you guys have been together. Come on, bro. Like you did this. This is where that accountability comes in. No, you're right. I definitely wasn't operating at 100% in terms of companionship and trying to make the relationship between us work. And at this point, regardless of what she did to you, knowing that you want her and you are making the changes to make this work, what she did doesn't matter anymore because you're now willing to make the changes to try to make the relationship work. So in the event that this actually splits, happens, and she moves out and you guys don't reconcile, you can't make her the bad guy. Because if you're willing to change to keep her, she's not the bad guy. You were. Right? Like, it's a lot.
That is a lot to think about.
I don't have anything else to go on.
Me either.
We did 3 emails that episode.
Yeah.
You want to wrap up and interact with the chat for 20 minutes?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So with that being said, remember you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.